horror fans, welcome back to Creative Storm Horror Collectibles. In this segment, we're going to talk about some of the dolls that I have and the different cards and the different manufacturers. And stay tuned. I hope you like it. So before we get started, I wanted to say that if you have a hobby and you like to share it with the world, I encourage you to do so. I've been collecting all these toys for over 30-something years, and it gives you a sense of fulfillment, not only to find a certain toy that you've been looking for a long time, but there's like a life-work balance, and I think it's important that everyone has that. So let's just jump right into it. These are some of the dolls that I have that I'd like to share with you. Some of them are, they have different backgrounds, different cards. This is a remake of a 1970s. I talked about it in the previous video. This one actually came from India. What I like about toy collecting is that every manufacturer has a different interpretation of basically the same monsters, which is kind of cool. This is a different interpretation by Mego. This is the format that they usually have, and this is like an exclusive. So it's a completely different approach, very nostalgic, like it was before back in the day when I was growing up, but it's a little different. I'm not going to go over every single toy here because it would be a long video, but I wanted to share with you also, here's a different interpretation by a different company altogether, and the packaging is kind of oversized, but it's cool because it's very retro. I got one of these also in Frankenstein. And speaking of Frankenstein, let's jump over here to this side of the table. This is one of my favorite toys. This was back in the day, 1957, when Christopher Lee was the monster. And he did an amazing job. It's with Hammer Films. So it was a really, really cool packaging, clip of the movie there. And I also like, I like vampires, I like Frankenstein, obviously, but I also like werewolves. And this particular series of werewolves are really, really cool. This one's from 2018, this first one here. And if you notice carefully, they're all different in their own right. Not only with the graphics behind it, but if you look closely at the werewolf, they're all different. This one's from 2018. This one is from 2019. Now the cool thing about this is that it's not plastic. It's kind of like a furry material on the wolf, which is kind of interesting that they did that. They're trying to explore different treatments to the actual doll. Here's another one. This one's from 2018 too. Now, if you notice, these side by side, they have basically the same wardrobe, but the treatment to the actual sculpture is different. So that's another thing that I like about collecting. Sometimes they make the same toy, but in different variant colors. And we all know what this guy is Michael J. Fox's Teen Wolf. They did a really good interpretation on this one. And they also have a little clip of the movie. And then this last one that I have, and I'm sure I'm missing a couple. This one's from 2021. I like when companies try different things and they don't stick to the same, redundant graphics and stuff. So this is really cool too. I put the dates on them so I know more or less what to talk about. But this one's completely different. The size is different. The coloration. His hands are really aggressive. Really cool stuff. And then we can walk over to Frankenstein. And again, this is the larger one I was telling you about earlier. It makes you want to collect them all. This is extracted from an old magazine like a Fangoria or a Creeper. Growing up with it, when I was a kid, I would love to read Fangoria magazines, and in the back of it, they'd have all these kind of toys that you could buy. Back then there was no internet, so it was really, really interesting. You would have to get everything by mail. Blue-headed Frankenstein, and the Hammer films. And I'm missing a couple of these variations. This one's glow in the dark. Young Frankenstein with Mel Brooks. You can't not have that. You gotta have that one. I'm still missing the Dr. Frankenstein. Igor. So I just wanted to give you a quick glance. What we're gonna do in the next segment is we're gonna talk about custom toys, which is really, really cool. I've made a couple, and I know I met this gentleman that is super, super talented. I'll mention him in the video. So stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe. Stay creepy, guys.